Hey guys, this is Miss McCraw at Southeast Middle School. Hope you had a great second day of learning. Just to kind of recap what we did today. When you go to your Canvas page, make sure you go to Modules. Here, you always will have your pages, and I date them for you. So this stuff we did yesterday has yesterday's date. Today, we learned about what does virtual learning look like. We talked a little bit about the Southeast Middle School Handbook. We also did an activity, one of the social emotional learning, about growth mindset. So let's kind of get started and see what these are all about. So when you click on virtual learning, it says, what does virtual learning look like? Well, there's two daunting terms, synchronous learning and asynchronous learning. Synchronous is pretty much what me and you are doing right now. I would be directing class, and instead of me being in a classroom, I am with you here virtually with your computer. Asynchronous is I would be on the call with you, like for example on Microsoft Teams, and you would be working independently, but I'm still there in case you need questions. Just like if you were in class and you needed to raise your hand, or the teacher said, hey, for right now, work with a partner or work independently for the remainder of class. It's the same thing. You're still using your class time, but you're on the call. And this goes into details about kind of what we expect. For synchronous, you need to be on time for the chat or your meeting, and your teacher should have links on their Canvas page. We are please have your camera. We would love to see your faces. This is how we interact. I understand some of you don't want to, but we kind of prefer that you have your camera on so we can help you a little easier. Mute your microphone when we ask. Other times we'll say, hey, does anybody have any questions? And then we'll try to call in people within our chat. If I ask you to mute your microphone, please do not unmute it until I tell you to do so. Raise your hand button. Just like in class when you raise your hand, wait till the teacher calls on you. If you're scared to ask a question, type it in the chat. Be dressed sitting up. Yes, I know this is not the typical setting, but if I'm here aimed to please, I hope you are too. Don't be woeing and TikToking during the presentation. Also, be respectful and kind of others. Let's say a student has asked the same question 3 or 4 times. Don't call that student out. Sometimes we all need reminders. I do on a daily, so it's not fair to say anything to that student. And plus, that's not being very kind, because caring is sharing, and in the essence of the way the world is right now, it needs to be some kindness in the world, and we need to work together. So asynchronous, you're working more independently. Contact your teacher or turn your mic on and be like, hey, Miss McCraw, I got a question. Or you can just start speaking, but I try to call you by your name so I get to know you too. Follow the directions closely and check your grades for feedback every day. Once we have set up our grade books, you will see your grades starting to upload. Yes, everything is graded. So make sure you're following your progress and monitoring your progress, because we are. You need to be an active learner. Do not procrastinate this year. That is not good. The next thing on our modules for today was the Southeast Middle School Handbook. So when you click on that link, the page will pop up. I did put a link on here so you can have an access to the Southeast Middle School Handbook. I keep saying that a lot. So you have a copy in your Google Drive. That way, in case you need to access maybe something on a certain guideline or requirement. So the section that science is covering, because your teacher should be covering a different part of this throughout the week, we're going over attendance. Student attendance will be checked daily. Okay, teachers will be entering it on Friday for the whole entire week. The official attendance will take place at the beginning of each class period. I am taking attendance at the end of class so I can monitor when you go in and out of the meeting, because some students just like to hop on and then they, deuce out, and that doesn't help us out any. So it helps me monitor as you go in and out of the meeting. So I always take attendance, sometimes even at the beginning and the end, to check your timestamps. Each day of instruction, it is important so that you're active and you're there. So attendance in each class is imperative. That's just a fancy word of saying important. It is your responsibility to request makeup work in case of an absence. You have 2 days to make up work. Then also, excused absences include your personal, like a doctor's note. Your mom or dad just needs to scan it or take a picture and send it to your home-based teacher, or you can CC and add all the teachers' emails to it so we can get it to the correct person. Unexcused absences are defined as an absence occurring with knowledge and approval of a parent or guardian. So unexcused would be that you don't have a doctor's note, pretty much. Educational opportunities. Those have to be pre-approved by the principal. For example, I've had some students travel to conventions for conferences with a club like SCCLA, or let's say you're involved with traveling football. I know with COVID times it's a little different, but I'm just saying this in general. Or you're on a sports team, maybe cheerleading, and you have a conference you have to go to, or all-stars, or some type of function where you have to travel out of state, or travel maybe on a vacation of some sort. You have to get pre-approval by the principal, and there will be something like a written requirement for that. A student is considered absent if they do not log in to Canvas within 10 minutes of the class start time, and or if they're not completing assignments for the class. So if you do not log in to Canvas, you do not attend virtual learning, and you do not do assignments, you're considered absent because you're not present for learning. Now, truancy is pretty much the case of where some more protocol has to go into effect, but this is when the student basically just kind of refuses to work. You're not being active, we haven't heard from you, we've tried to contact home, and there's just a lot more issues maybe going on that we need to know about, but you're not an active learner. So that is kind of what truancy is. We don't really have to use that term because each student that we've contacted so far has been willing to learn. So again, attendance, just word of the wise, be present, be on time, and be an active learner. So if we go back to modules, the assignment for social emotional learning we did today was growth mindset. No, I'm not talking about growing your brain. We're talking about kind of what goals do we want to set for this year? What kind of setting do I need to have at home? What is the overall goal? Yes, we all want to pass 7th grade. I get that. But what steps along the way do we have to do? And that's what growth mindset is all about. Looking at data, tracking your progress, because each and every one of us has to track our own progress. So on this page, it goes through, you can read all this information about golden rules of goal setting. There's a quick video clip, not super long, and it's trying to motivate you to set steps for success. So at the bottom, you're going to click on Growth Mindset Task 1. You're going to be doing an additional assignment next week, which I believe is part 2. So once you click on it, it's going to ask you to make a copy. Click on the blue button that says Make a Copy. Once you're in there, this is what the assignment looks like. At the top, right here, you'll usually just see Copy of Growth Mindset Task 1. In front of that, you need to put your first and your last name. That's how I can identify that document super quick that it is yours. Also, there's not really a place on here. Sorry, I'm zooming in too much. There's not a place on here for your name like the other assignment. So if you're not putting your name in the title, I don't know it's from you. After you complete this assignment, you need to click on the Share button. The Share button is the yellow button on the top right-hand corner. Once you click Share, you can type in my name, and this is the picture, my little avatar that will pop up. You can select my name and it is shared with me. But before you hit done, and if you hit done, you can fix it. On the second section right here where it says Get Link, you need to make sure this is changed to anyone with the link. That means even if I log in on a phone, I can view your work versus having to be on a laptop the whole entire time. So they both need to be green. That means you are good to go. So once you've done that, you hit done. So here, all we're putting on the assignment today is typing one goal. Now, if you have multiple goals and you want to list them, go right ahead. It says write down one goal you would hope to accomplish and plan to accomplish this goal. So kind of stating what it is and how you're going to do it. So if you have more than one, you're more than welcome to type them all. But think more of maybe just this quarter. Maybe as a goal for science. Maybe if you're struggling in a different subject area, you might want to put a goal for that. But this is ultimately just a reflection of how to set a goal and achieve it. So that's kind of what we did today in class. We talked about the difference between synchronous, which is me and you, and asynchronous, which is kind of more independent, but the teacher's kind of still around if you need help. Then we talked about the handbook with attendance. Please be active. Please be accountable. Please be on time. We're here to help you. We love each and every one of you, and we're here for your success. We want you to succeed this year through virtual learning. And last but not least, the ending of today was this growth mindset activity. Please make sure you remember to put your first and last name in the title box, which is in the top left-hand corner. And I'm going to click on it right now. It makes a blue box around it. Please start putting your first and last name on those assignments. Hope y'all have a great day and see you tomorrow. Byes.